All right, I'd like to call the Special Budget Review Committee to order. It's September 7th, 2023. We're in the Aldermatic Chamber, and it is 6:42 p.m. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman John Sullivan.
Here.
Alderman at Large Laurie Wilshire.
Here.
Alderman at Large Michael O'Brien Sr. is present, and Alderman Richard Dowd.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Okay.
Also, if I may, in attendance this evening is Stephen Buxton, Fire Chief of Nashua Fire Rescue, and Mr. Tom Hooley, who's representing IAFF Local 789 of the city's firefighters.
And Commissioner.
Yes, oh, and Commissioner Mary Emily Shigoli. Sorry about that, Mary. Excuse me. And anybody
Anyone
else?
else we missed? All right. First item on the agenda is public comment. Is there anyone that wishes to speak on what's on the agenda tonight? Nope. Okay, communications.
From Kevin Burgess, Board of Fire Commissioners Chairman, regarding IAFF Local 789 Collective Bargaining Agreement.
There being no objection, I'll accept the communication and place it on file. Unfinished business?
There is none.
New business resolutions.
Before us this evening is R-23151, which is approving the cost items of a collective bargaining agreement between the Mayor and the Board of Fire Commissioners of the City of Nashua, New Hampshire, and Local 789 International Association of Firefighters from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2027. Mr. Chairman, I would like to make the motion to recommend final passage.
Okay. The motion is to recommend the full final passage of R-23151. Can we have someone come up and go through the contract? So what we usually ask you to cover is what are the changes to the contract, and and I always ask the finance person whether the money's in the budget for cover the cost.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure there might be other questions. Chief, or you want?
Yep, I'll get going here. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight to review our proposed collective bargaining agreement between the City of Nashua and IAFF Local 789. With me tonight is Karen Condi, President Tom Hooley, and then we have Commissioner Melise Golia in the crowd. A quick overview of the CBA. Basically, there's a total, it's a 4-year deal. It's a total of 10% cost of living adjustments for all members over the 4 years. In year 2 of the CBA, there's an additional 2% for members of the Emergency Services Division in the Fire Marshal's Office. In year 3, we adjust the hazardous materials team and dive team pay to a percentage from an hourly rate, and we give them a little bump in pay for that as well, approximately 0.5%. There was many language updates. There's one thing, that our agreement is very old, I guess I would say, and mature would be a better word for it, and we've been very good about creating new language in there, but we haven't been very good about extracting the old language that's outdated, no longer pertinent, and we had a lot of work sessions to accomplish a lot of that to make it a more efficient document. We also incorporated 4 MOUs into the CBA, one for military leave, one for administrative overtime, one for daylight savings time, and one for the promotional process. Also contained within this agreement is the establishment of a health trust committee to review health care and potential savings to both the city and members. This committee is to be established within 60 days of the execution of the contract, and it should furnish a report within 1 year. We are going to establish a medical expense reimbursement program within this contract. This is for our members, which will obviously provide a benefit for them upon retirement. But this will also assist us in our recruitment and retention efforts. Both President Hooley and myself, before this contract's even been executed, have already received inquiries from people outside of our agency that are curious about this and feel that it will be a very attractive incentive for us to have. There's the establishment of language for a captain of EMS within our organization, establishment of an in-service training program which will allow us to remove a member from service and send them for training on certain topics to assist them with advancement within our organization. I'd like to tell you that currently within the fire service, it is wide open. And what I mean by this is organizations are offering sign-on bonuses, relocation bonuses. They bring members into their organization with seniority, rank, and increased pay above and beyond what a normal member entering their organization would be. Recruitment now requires a more intense effort than ever before. I am proud to say that while we do recruit new firefighters, we do not engage in any of those tactics that I just mentioned. Instead, we would like to focus on our members and create pathways for them to realize success and financial gain within our organization. This in turn will assist us in making our organization successful, which will result in better service for our community. Some of the items I've listed here tonight are the result of much collaboration with Local 789 to accomplish this. Overall, what you have in front of you is the result of much hard work, negotiation, and collaboration. For the first time in my 27-year career here at Nashua Fire, we had a tentative agreement in place prior to the expiration of the previous CBA. I would like to thank the Executive Board, President Hooley, Commissioner Burgess and Lambert, Deputy Hooley, Attorney Bolton for their efforts in negotiating this package that is before you. And of course, all of these efforts would not be possible without the administrative support of Karen Condi and Anne-Marie Boucher. If you have any questions or concern, I can work to address those for you.
Just for the general public, MOUs or memorandums of understanding that get agreed to by the fire commissioners and the fire chief and the union, and then come to the Board of Aldermen for approval, and they get added to the contract. And when possible, we try to take those MOUs that are attached to the current contract and bring them into the language of the existing contract. We've done a lot of that recently, and in the past didn't do as much of it, but
that's correct. You described that process perfectly.
I think I've been through a few of them. Questions? Alderman Sullivan.
A lot of my questions, I realized while I was listening to Chief Buxton's remarks, probably should be directed to CFO Griffin, and I'll explain. I was going through the budget that we approved for fiscal year 24, and the top line numbers didn't seem to match up. I mean, they were off by about $2 million. So there are questions that I have around, we approved $19,493,000 for the fire department for that, for the wages and salaries and whatnot. And then in the contract, it has $17,891,000. So I need to better understand why the difference. There must be numbers in that contract that aren't in the budget that we approved. So that was my question.
I can let Karen explain, but basically the monies for negotiations are put in contingency funds, and then when the contract's approved, the money comes out of the contingency funds to cover the salaries.
So that 19 million includes contingencies. Is that what you're saying?
The new contract, you had contingencies put aside for contract negotiations.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know without looking the 19 to 17, but that's what normally happens. If there's no contract, it doesn't go directly into the budget right away.
Sure.
It's just put into contingency because it could change, or they could not have a contract and it stays in contingency for the next year.
Okay, so they build in some cushion.
Yeah, we always take, for all the contracts, we take the department's contingency, because they're not quite sure how it's gonna come out. We take that contingency money and put it into contingency in the general budget. So then when the contract's negotiated during the year, we take the money out of that contingency and put it towards the.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you for explaining that.
Oh, okay, I was gonna,
Oh, you what?
to help you
Oh, no,
explain
Brian.
it too. Coming from my union roots back in the old days, idealistically, it would be great if the union knew exactly the dollar amount. And they don't, because they read the same public, the right to know,
Sure.
the same budget.
Yep.
So this is why the contingency.
Yep.
It makes it fair, they negotiate, they know what they're dealing with, what the home number should be,
Yep.
and it just works out best.
It'd make your job really
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Could I,
Follow
I
up,
just
Alderman
have,
Sullivan?
yeah, thank you. Could you talk more about the Health Trust Committee? And also, you mentioned an incentive. Could you talk more about that, please, Chief Buxton?
In regards to the incentive or
Health
whatever?
Trust Committee first, and then the
Okay.
incentive after that.
So we've actually worked on these in the past, and what it is a joint committee between labor and management to take a look at the health benefit that the employees were able to engage in, see if we can find a better benefit that would result in both a cost savings to the city as well as our members, and if we're able to engage in it.
Yeah.
President Pooley may be able to speak to some of the specifics, but their local actually is the IFF, and they actually have the health trust, and I believe that's one of the ones that they are actually interested in looking at.
Okay. Okay.
Does that answer your question, or you want more details?
No, I understand it.
Yeah.
And then the incentive, you talked about an incentive?
Yeah, the incentive portion that would be, if we're able to achieve savings, come to agreement on it, both sides would realize a benefit as we'd be saving money and achieving a better benefit for our members.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And one last question.
Go ahead.
Are you fully staffed? 171 is in this contract. Are you fully staffed?
Currently, we are not, but we will be hiring this spring. So this fiscal budget, we'll be trying to plug every opening we can. Unfortunately, by the last 3 years, we hired between 10 and 15 people. By the time they graduate recruit school,
Sure.
we've had people leave.
Yeah.
And by this point in the year, we've achieved about 10 openings.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Just for members of the audience, if you're here for the planning board, it's upstairs. This is a budget. Alderman Wilshire?
I just want to say I'm impressed that you took the steps that you took to do those small increases, the stipend, whatever, to keep people that you have. I mean, yeah, we have a good fire department, we have great people, and to have them swept away to another department, it can be very disheartening, and I'm sure it is for all of you as well. So thank you for that, getting innovative, creative with this contract. I really appreciate that.
Mayor, did you want to comment at all, or?
Thank you. I'd like to say I think it's a very fair contract to both sides. I want to thank everyone who was involved in the negotiations. Of course, from the 789, firefighter Hooley, Chief Buxton, and we also had Steve Bolton on the city's team, as well as Tim Cummings. But I think there was a real discussion of the issues. We came up with some creative solutions. You've already heard that the MRF is something I think will help the firefighters, and it's a fair contract. We have very hardworking firefighters, a great workforce, and I think it's a fair contract that I hope everyone will approve.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none? All right. Thank you. You can stay right there. We're going to take a vote. So the motion on the floor is to approve resolution R23-151, approving the collective bargaining agreement between the mayor and the Board of Fire Commissioners of the City of Nashua, New Hampshire, and Local 789, International Association of Firefighters, from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2027. All those in favor signify by singing aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. New business ordinances? None.
There are several items that are going to remain in table.
Yep, so they'll stay in. General discussion? No? Public comment? No one? Remarks by Alderman?
Um,
None?
I do have
Oh,
one.
you do?
Yeah.
Alderman O'Brien?
I think that what Chief Buxton was talking about on the medical end, it will help in the retention of firefighters, and it is quite innovative in diving through and looking at it. It's something that I think there's other entities, including the state, may want to take a look at this. It is quite innovative, and I think it will help in a long way. So it's good that some new ideas came out of this and that it was agreed upon, and I think it will definitely help us out. So I congratulate all those that worked on it. It's quite a process.
Yep. So, all right. Alderman O'Brien, do you have a motion?
Yes, I do. I would like to call for an adjournment.
All right, the motion on the floor is to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 6:59 PM.